Well, hi guys. We are coming up into the second week of January. When's the latest you can say Happy New Year? But I'll say it, Happy New Year. We're into 2017. Just sort of wanting to let you know what's going on. I haven't really done any videos for probably quite a few weeks now. I just sort of wanted to let you know what was getting up to and what was going on. Little things here and there. Now some of you might know, in the UK at least, and across most of Europe, we've got the is it H5N8 or something? I can't remember the numbers or the letters. The bird flu going through small scale poultry keepers like ourselves, big commercial places, places where waterfowl go, stuff like that. So our birds at the minute, well, they haven't got it, but they are under lockdown, and that means they are in their shed 24/7 at the moment. Now they can come out as long as we stay down here and don't allow any wild birds to mix with the flock, blah 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 blah. But that's not sort of possible for us at the moment. We've got a lot of things going on, and it's just not practical to be able to sit down here for 4 or 5, 6 hours at a time to let the birds, free range in the garden. So we're using this opportunity while the birds are shut in. Now we'll say we downsized a lot of our birds sort of mid-November time. We downsized all of our chickens, got rid of all the old birds, some of the new birds that we'd bred last year, and a few, and other bits and pieces. So all we've got in there is about a dozen chickens, 2 geese, 3 ducks. That's all we've got in there at the minute. We've got 2 cockerels over the back there that are fattening up, ready for the table, and we've got these here. Now these are in undercover, so they're okay to come out into their little coop. It's not ideal, but at least it enables them to be able to move about, stretch their feet and sort of stretch their legs and everything. But these are out, these are in the shed. And we've got a little black tub down there, if you can see. It's got Virkon S in it. I think it's Virkon anyway. It's a disinfectant that we dip our feet into each time we go into there, and each time we come out of there we dip our feet. We also have a tub over by the cockerels that has the solution in as well, which we dip our feet into, blah 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 blah. And on the other side of this fence we have a big trough that we dip our feet in before we come into this part of the garden and before we leave this part of the garden. So everything gets dipped before we enter this part and before we leave this part. So really, all we've got going in the garden really is some leeks there and these leeks here. That is it. Apart from little plants that we've overwintered, and little bits and bobs, that is it. We've got a small half bed there of leeks, and we've got a half bed here of leeks. Now these aren't doing too bad. They're probably, they'll be coming up ready for using, so we're going to be knocking up some leek and potato soup, get these sliced and diced and got in the freezer ready for soups and things. Again, we've got 2 quail. They're in the box here, this hutch. Again, it's free from being able to allow wild birds access to it. So that's those okay. We're still trying to get on and get the main chicken pen cleared. As you can see, we've took the main pen down at the moment because we're overhauling all that side of the chicken pen at the moment, trying to make it a little bit smaller, and what have you. So there's a pile just there of the stuff that we're taking out of the chicken pen. We're then going to re-erect the chicken pen and bits and pieces. Put some fresh wood chips down that we've got in sealed bags so that no wild birds can poo on it. And this will allow us then to be able to net over the top of the chicken pen, and then allow us to be able to let the birds out into the chicken pen, because then obviously the wild birds aren't able to get in and poo on them, sort of thing. Because that's where the bird flu travels. Other than that, there's not a lot going on at the minute. Hannah's busy with appointments and some voluntary stuff that she's got committed to. So that's her for a couple of days of the week. I'm not able to do a lot at the moment, just able to get down here, pot her down, feed the chickens, collect eggs that we just started getting again. We've been since September, October time with no eggs. Even though we had a lot of young birds in the flock, we wasn't really getting that many eggs, to be fair, maybe 1 or 2 a day. But now we're starting to pick up getting 1 or 2 a day. We've got some compost still here from the old potato buckets that we need to get bagged up and ready to go into the what is the polytunnel bed. Then this bed here needs clearing, and some of the compost and that bringing over from the old chicken pen, that needs to be spread on here, ready for that bed to be put to one side, ready for growing in this year. Oh, I've got an old train travelling down the... Can you see it? Just going that way. Old train and a lorry. Yeah, we've got that compost coming on here, so then that bed's ready then for growing in this year. And there's going to be some more of that compost coming over from the chicken pen onto the wood chip bed here. We've got the compost bins. I wedged these open last night because it was getting a little bit dry, so I just wanted it to get a little bit damp. We've been getting quite a lot of rain just recently, so just wanted them to get damped off a little bit. And rainwater's better than tap water any day, so that's what that's doing. Got the raspberries to try and cut and trim down at some point. We've got this little bed at the top of the garden to sort out. Now, some of you will remember at the back end, or towards the back end of last year, we sprayed both of these beds off for the weeds. So they're now done, and there should be no residue from that weed killing there now. So we can now start getting the composts on, getting these areas levelled off, and get these ready for planting into this year. Now, there may be now I did dip my feet before I come up this end, but here's the other pink solution. Now I'll just step into this and swizzle my feet about. There we go, that's my feet dipped, all good. Yeah, there's probably, because we haven't got the polytunnel, we're going to be a little bit behind with everything growing wise. The aim was to get a new polytunnel sheet, but just at the moment funds really aren't allowing for a new polytunnel sheet. So we'll either be a little bit behind with things growing, or we shall be buying plug plants this year. It's not something that we wanted to do with the plug plants, but it's something that we are going to have to do this year at least, because then that allows us a little bit more time to get on top of the odd jobs and that in the garden that need doing. And allows us to not have the house chocked up with seedlings all over the table, on the windowsills, the bathrooms, and things like that. So most things this year will be plug plants, at least brassicas, possibly onions. No, I will be doing onions from sets anyway. May do shallots this year as well, but probably a lot of it will be, like I say, plug plants mainly. We're not doing a lot of first and second early potatoes, but we are going to do more in the way of main crops for storing for over winter use, and things like that. So yeah, that's what we're up to anyway, guys. So I'm going to leave you there, leave it before 14 minutes, and then it'll upload from my phone. Otherwise after that it doesn't seem to upload for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, it just says it's too big to upload from the phone. Go figure, technology, eh? So anyway, guys, I'm going to get off. I think it's nearly time for a brew, so catch you later. Cheers for now.